Well, thank you, friend. Shabbat Shalom and greetings to you all. I hope you all had an awesome Valentine's Day, the non-Hebrew 15th of Av, a day of love, a celebration of l'amour. Birds do it. Bees do it. Even educated fleas do it. Let's do it. Let's fall in love. Now, couldn't you just listen to Cole Porter all day? I know I could. And shouldn't every day be a celebration of love? Tell at least one person that you love them. It's not so hard to do. Make it a habit. We have so many bad ones. Let's put in a few good ones. I will try to, if you try to. Well, this is quite a week of celebration, isn't it? The great festival of love when the flower and chocolate industries go wild. And when everybody hopes they have at least one secret or not so secret admirer, and then boom, we have the first real lunar new year of the year, the Chinese New Year. And this year, it is the year of the dog. Now, I don't know the Chinese horoscope signs as well as the Greek ones we're more used to. And they don't just have the 12 animal signs because there are 5 elemental signs that go with them, just to make it a little more complicated. So each sign is paired with an element. So instead of just your standard 12-year cycle, it's really a 60-year cycle. Well, this year we celebrate not just the year of the dog, but the year of the Earth dog. So the last Earth dog was in 1958, and not all of you are around for that one. But here's what you can expect in this year. Well, it's believed that this is a good time for lifestyle changes. It'll be a year of action. It'll be a good year overall. You may, though, experience some short periods of loneliness or temporary melancholy, but it's something that should be nourishing the most sensitive and most creative aspect of yourself that has been dormant for the last little while. Now, the year of the Earth Dog is quite often seen to be a powerful marker in people's lives. It brings new interpretation of the human condition. Strength of character, education, morality, social life, health, caring for our elders are all fundamental questions which should be thought of and examined during this period. Now, the emergence of new authors and philosophers, as much as perhaps even the reissue of forgotten texts by great classical writers and poets, should wake up and feed this collective awareness. Now, regardless of your personal sign, all signs should be aware of health issues in the year ahead. So eat healthier, exercise, and try and get rid of bad habits. Enjoy your year, my friends. And don't forget we have Purim coming up in a few weeks, in 2 weeks. And that too is a story of love. And this year it's February 28th to March 1st, although we will be celebrating it at this weekend's Rosh Chodesh, the new month. It's a combination Jewish Halloween and party of parties, and we'll talk about it as we get closer over the next couple of weeks. But I do want to remind you now, so you can keep in mind for when it occurs, that for Purim, there are 4 mitzvahs, or laws or good deeds, to be performed. Now, the first is perform acts of tzedakah, charity and kindness. Give gifts to the less fortunate. The second is honor the appointed time. It is the 14th of Adar, as the book of Esther tells us, and we are to remember the days of Purim for all generations. Now, the third is to hear the Megillah read, the whole Megillah. Now, the Megillah, of course, is the scroll or book of Esther, and I'll be reading it. And it's on our channel now, so you can go and listen or watch anytime you would like to the last ones. It really is a great story. The fourth is enjoy a holiday meal. It is celebratory, so have a great time, and it is one of those holidays when you're expected to become inebriated. If so, do not drive, be responsible. Take an Uber. Now, of course, it's technically a minor holiday, but culturally a major holiday, even though not a biblical holiday. It actually celebrates genocide, one that failed. And there are at least 2 great Purim movies that I can think of that are always worth watching, just to get you in the holiday spirit. And just as it's a special time for celebration of seasons, of love, of world events, of dogs and New Year's, let us take a moment now to celebrate our coming together as a like-minded group in a showing of faith, of love, as a community, a chavura, a fellowship. When we express our nature of kindness, compassion, thoughts, feelings, hopes, dreams, and wishes that unites us all in this community house of spirit, Beth Ruach. So once again, my friends, Please do go ahead and invite everybody you know physically, psychically, emotionally, spiritually to gather and share from Psalm 133, the Hine Matov. Come together. Hine Matov. שבטחים גם יחד, הנה בטוב ומנעים, שבטחים גם יחד. How good, how pleasant it is for brothers and sisters together. Community, community, community. Together. So as a community, my friends, let us spread love, goodwill, and fellowship to the entire world. And let's once again send out energy to help others the world over who suffer from mental, from physical, from emotional, from spiritual trauma. As we share with the miracle of healing, of renewal, send prayers out to Mitchell, recovering from a terrible accident, for Cindy's surgery, for Veronica, for the Cardinal, for Ben and Lindsay, for Jim, for Alex, Chuck, for Bob, Aubrey, Marlu, and for Rosemary, who I had the wonderful pleasure to have heard from the other day. And I love hearing from all these special dear friends. So let's send love and renewal and healing to them and to whoever else you know who comes to mind. And of course, make sure you do include yourself. You need renewal too. It's the kindness, healing wishes, goodwill, and love we all send out that circles the world, finding those in need. So thank you, each and every one of you, for all you do, because the world is a world of spirit, and spirit never dies. Shabbat Avoteinu Makor HaBracha Limoteinu, may the source of strength bless the ones before us. Help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing. Renewal of body, renewal of spirit, let us say Amen. Misha Berach, let us all have our spirits renewed the world over, my friends. We all need renewal. Now this week, it's always been a very special parsha for me. And I know it's also one of Yaakov's favorites because of the topic it introduces. Well, this week we read terumah, donations, but they are special donations. The Hebrew terumah is a noun derived from a verb that means to elevate. And among several biblical terms for gift, it is the one that designates a donation for use in the cult or by the priests. So this isn't just donating. This is special. This elevates you, the giver. Now, and we need to remember that the history of the Torah suggests that this was put together during the priestly period, so they're serving their own purpose with this too. Now, you may nonetheless wonder why the editors chose to introduce this incredibly large block of material at the very moment when Moses has disappeared into the cloud on the mountaintop to commune with God. Now, that moment in the story is marked by the people's fearful distance from the fiery divine presence up above, and the daring closeness of one man, Moses, the intermediary, to the deity. Now, it's against this background the architectural plan for the tabernacle and its decor is presented. Now, the Hebrew tabernacle, or mishkan, which literally means abode, that I shall abide in their midst. It is, of course, a portable sanctuary to be carried from encampment to encampment in the wilderness. Now, God will come down from above to dwell among his people within the securely designated sanctum of the tabernacle. He will sit enthroned on the cherubim carved above the Ark of the Covenant, from whence he will issue divine instruction, and where he will be accessible through the cultic mediation of the priests. Now, the divinely endorsed donations and cultic procedures also set up a contrast with the transgressive donations that enable the forbidden cult of the golden calf, and that will take place shortly. Exodus 25:2. You shall take my donation from every man whose heart will move him. It's not an automatic donation. Your heart has to move you to do it. Don't give because you were shamed into it or because someone is twisting your arm to give, like in today's world. Give because you want to. It is a sacred donation, my friends. It is an elevating donation. People only have to give if they are individually moved to do so. Your money gives me a thrill, but your loving don't pay my bills. Now give me money. That's what I want, that's what I want. What I want, that's what I want. That's what I want. Give me money. Now they need to build a place for God. We learn God will be living among them. Exodus 25:8. And they shall make me a holy place, and I shall tent among them. Now that's a really important phrase, my friends. But we're about to learn and hear about an incredible series of objects. We are going to hear about the tabernacle, the Mishkan, the dwelling place of God, the Ark of the Covenant, and behind me you'll see an Ark of the Covenant with the cherubim on top, the altar of sacrifice, the great breastplate of Aaron, who will be ensconced as the high priest, symbolizing the unification of a nation, the 12 tribes, the 12 energies of the sky, and the menorah, the great 7-branched lamp, representing the days of creation and the planets. And of course, the Ner Tamid, the eternal light, all the things that shout out, look at me, the mystery and magnificence of God, all of which went missing mostly after the first temple. Now, there's more about the tabernacle and its contents than any other subject in the Torah. It is the conduit to God. Exodus notes explicitly that the function of the tabernacle is, I shall meet there with the children of Israel. And it is where Moses and God will have their regular discussions. God explains further in Exodus 25:22, and I shall meet with you there and speak with you from above the atonement dais, from between the 2 cherubs that are at the Ark of the Testimony. Everything that I shall command you to the children of Israel. Now, what you have to understand is, this is the command center of God. And the instructions for the creation of all of these items are complicated. In fact, they're so complicated that God tells Moses he's going to have to show him the plans on the mountain. So people have been trying to recreate these things from just reading it. Well, Moses had to be shown. And everything is made of really expensive and rare materials, and it's all covered in gold. Now, as you read it, you can see all of these things in your mind, all the great imagery of ancient Judaism being described here, from the gold of the ark and the menorah to the red leather tent of the tabernacle, the tent of meeting, the tent of the cult. And to do these things, they need money. You never give me your money. You only give me your funny paper. And in the middle of negotiation, you break down. Out of college, money spent, see no future, pay no rent. All the money's gone, nowhere to go. Now, all the things that people imagine may be gone, but friends, we carry the tabernacle in our hearts. It was designed to be portable, to go where we go. And our hearts, read from the immortal lifeblood that flows through us, a permanent reminder of the red skins of the tent. Still, it must have been incredible to see, and people have tried to recreate these wonders for thousands of years. But like I say, even Moses needed to be shown the plans. Now, one of the last descriptions we actually have comes from the ancient historian Josephus, Yosef ben Mattiyahu, an eyewitness historian to the destruction of the Second Temple in the 1st century, who wrote that the effect of the cherub's wings in the temple was to appear like a tent. And some of the writings now make more sense. Psalm 61 says, I'll reside in your tent forever. I'll conceal myself in the hidden place of your wings. The book of Chronicles refers to the temple as the house of the tent, Beit HaOhel. It also speaks of the tabernacle of the house of God. Now, what this means, my friends, is that the temple was not just the successor to the tabernacle. The tabernacle, revered as the ancient channel to God, was actually located inside the temple when it was built. Now, these things we are reading about actually existed. They're not made up. Now, most were gone by the time of Josephus, but not all. What about the cherubim that adorned the ark and the curtains? We encountered them once before. When Adam and Eve were expelled from the garden, the cherubim were placed there to guard against man's return. They're not the little angelic beings we're used to seeing in the modern interpretation. The Hebrew cherubim is derived from a root that suggests hybrid or composite, and perhaps even steed. The Babylonian depiction of the Sphinx guarding their gates would perhaps be the type of creature. These are fearsome winged beasts that figure in poetry as God's celestial steeds, and that here serve as his terrestrial throne, enthroned upon cherubim, being a moniker for the deity. So all the laws in the Torah that command that something be done at the tabernacle applied as long as the first temple stood in Jerusalem. Now, by the time of that temple's destruction around 587 before the Common Era, the tabernacle and its contents, the ark, the tablets, disappear from being written about in the Bible. The rabbinic tradition is that the presence of God, the Shekhinah, which by the way has the same root as the word for tabernacle, Mishkan, was in the first temple, but was not in the second. Even Rashi had that view. That's a whole other topic. Now, this contributes to an impression of growing distance from the original feeling of a direct connection with God in the Hebrew Bible that we see in the wilderness generation. They were connected to God like nobody else. Exodus 26:3, and you shall place the pavilion under the clasps, and you shall bring the ark of the testimony there inside the pavilion, and the pavilion will distinguish for you between the holy and the Holy of Holies. Now, you can just see it. The ark is surrounded by a series of layers. First, the pavilion, the paroquet. Then the tabernacle, the linen tent. Then the other tent, the goat's hair tent. Then the covering, the tent of ram skins dyed red. Then the covering of leather skins. Then a courtyard surrounded by linen hangings. And that would be the process of it. Now, the Israelites are given to understand that there's a sequence of holiness, ever increasing, as one comes closer to the sacred object in the center. Any one of us who pursues holiness must be aware that he or she must pass through a progression of levels with increasing awe and increasing danger as one comes closer to the sacred holy spot. Yes, the world is sacred, and so is everything in it. Express your gratitude. Light a candle, make a wish, celebrate your life and the lives of those you love. Share your feelings with them. Live free, be free, honor your freedom, be well, be happy, and be blessed. Share and honor the light and all who live in the light and continue to shine. Continue to send everybody you know goodwill and love. Pray for peace and freedom for everyone and end to terror and hatred. Remember, friends, we are a community. We learn together, we celebrate each other, we love each other. We share this ride together, men and women equally. Let us send out love, not fear. Send out peace, harmony, goodwill, and healing to all who need it. And please do learn to forgive and learn to love, including yourself. Open your hearts. Honor the relationships of your life. Tell those you love that you love them. Take advantage of the time you have. Enjoy your journey, my friends. We take the twists and turns and the patterns that weave through the fabric of our lives in our effort to grow, to learn, to be, to love. So please do love. Now, bless you all. Have a fantastic week, a week of love and light, a week of peace, a week of miracles. Examine your intentions and use them to imprint your will on the universe. Remember, we set in motion all that happens in our lives. Our intention, our kavana, our cause, our effect, everything is linked. As I've said, you always have time to forgive and to be forgiven. You have that knowledge of what is good and bad. So acknowledge what you have done wrong to yourself, to God, and to any person you've wronged, and ask forgiveness. But do so with sincerity, with accountability, and with vulnerability. Forgive those who've hurt you as you learn to be a forgiving and compassionate person. The secret of forgiveness, compassion, and peace, my friends, is in acceptance. Can you accept yourself, other people in the world, just as they are? Can you accept life just as it is without trying to control it? If you do, you can experience the peace that acceptance brings. Now remember, when you are present, you interact with life without trying to prove anything or push any agenda. And when you're present, you're aware of the vitality and aliveness that is both inside and outside of you. You are one with the universe. So do not stop your journey. Do not stop moving towards your promised land. Keep on dreaming. Keep on being. Keep sharing. Keep shining. Keep teaching. Keep spreading joy and goodwill. Do not follow fear. Follow love. It's always in front of you. And remember to have faith, an unwavering adherence to principle, just as I have faith in the principle of love and in all of you. Act with purity of heart and mind. Despise none, defraud none, hate none. Cherish all. Honor every child of God, every creature of the earth. May all people know peace in this year, and may you nurture kindness and love everywhere you go. Work to be present in your body. Expand your heart and quiet your mind, because the deepest source of real power always lies in consciousness and the ability to be mindful, to be aware, to be present in all circumstances. So make the most of your time in this life. Continue to touch and transform the lives of those around you. You're never alone. You are forever blessed. And you have the ability to bring blessing to everybody you meet. Health, love, and renewal to everybody you come across. We're all energy. Energy cannot be destroyed. It can only be transformed. Friends, your words are your power to transform, to love, to bless. So be generous. Bless others and bless yourself, and love with the heart. We're all part of a greater whole. Now embrace love, not fear, forgiveness, not anger, the great lesson of life. Be there for someone, because someone is always there for you, whether you know it or not. Do not stop asking questions. Do not stop seeing the miracles of your life. Explore faith, and do not accept shame as a natural state. Whatever you feel others have felt, whatever you've experienced, others have too. We share together, we learn together, we help each other. So bring more light into your life, into the lives of all you come across. We're all one. And on your journey to your sacred space, follow the law of love and bring sacred time and sacred space together wherever you go. There's nothing you can know that is known. There's nothing you can see that isn't shown. Nowhere you can be that isn't where you're meant to be. It's easy. All you need is love. All you need is love. And it's true, my friends, all you do need is love. Be happy, be healthy, be helpful, be kind, and be loving. And get ready to celebrate freedom. It's coming up. Now let's all learn to leave fear behind. Celebrate love every day. And happy year of the dog. And get ready for Purim, the day of lot casting. It's coming up in 2 weeks. Shabbat shalom and blessings to you all. Take care.